Hey everyone, this is Mondo All Day back with another video, and in this video I'll be going over my build guide for Silver Surfer. I'll be going over which artifacts I use, which uniques I use in Medallion, as well as go over the PowerPoints, where I placed them, my Omegas, and hero synergies. And at the very end, kind of go over my rotation, kind of give you some tips and pointers as far as how I was able to pass the Cosmic Trial with Silver Surfer, as well as again give you some pointers in how to play with them and how to be effective with them. So let's get right into it. So the first artifact we're going to look at is a Black Cat's Advanced Grappling Hook. I'm using this for the +1 fighting, the dodge rating, damage rating to bosses, critical hit rating and move speed, and also damage rating to movement powers. Next is Scroll Energy Rifle Focusing Crystal. Artifact. I'm using this for the +1 energy, power duration, energy damage rating, but more importantly for the recovery of power cosmic when you hit with the energy power. Since he's all energy based, so this would be perfect for him, especially the whole, recover 3.5 power cosmic is very beneficial for him. And when I go over to the build guide, or my rotation, I'll explain why that's very important. And for Medallion, I'm using Ultra Medallion for the +1 energy, critical rating to energy attacks, the health, energy damage rating, but more importantly, you gain 2.1 power cosmic when you hit. Again, that's very, very important, and I'll go over that in a bit. Next, I'm using Kevlar plated helmet for the deflect rating, critical hit rating to range attacks, and when you critically hit, gain 3 fighting. Then I'm using improved arc reactor for the +2 energy, power cosmic increase, and also base damage to bosses. Now for the uniques, I used all of his uniques. As you can see here, these are all his uniques. They're all pretty good. You can use other ones, but personally, me using his uniques have been doing very well. And so, again, you can use other uniques, but I think his uniques alone, they're pretty solid as is. For the ring, I'm using Industrial City Ring. This one gives me critical hit rating to energy powers, attack speed increase, critical damage rating, and health. For the costume, grade 1 through 4, critical damage rating. And for the core, I have it to where I gain +1 energy, damage rating to melee powers, which I believe only have one power that gives me melee, and then +1 intelligence. Insignia of Captain Marvel. Using this for when you with any power, you and your allies gain damage increase, damage rating increase, energy damage increase, as well as defense rating. But also this insignia gives me good amount of defense rating and also brutal strike rating. And for the pet, I have it to where I only have one thing, which is the +3 fighting. Alright, for the Forge, I got 800 defense, and I have it blessed to where I gain 200 damage increase to energy powers and ranged powers. And for Legendary, I have Cosmic Control Rod.
This is part of my penance.
Power points. I have Subspace Rift, 10. The Construct, 10. Polarity of Field, max it out. Comet's Tail, max it out. One for Reconstruct, one for Hyperspace side step. Power Concord, sorry. Max it out, it's a passive. Signature, max it out, it's obviously signature. Singularity, max it out. Repulse, maxed it out. Death from Below, 19. And then one for Temporal Recall, and then Cosmic Resonance, one there as well. Again, Omegas, I use roughly 3,000. In this case, I use 3,300 or so, give or take here and there. But again, just to show you that I use around 3,000, a little over 3,000. Arcane Attunement, Doom's Mystic Armor, 5 there for the damage rating, brutal strike rating, and critical hit rating to energy powers. Interstellar Exploration, 1 for Earth for the base damage increase. Eagle of the Living Planet, 1 there for the +1 durability, speed, and energy. Nowhere, 1 there for a 1% chance to get to call in support from Star-Lord's ship, which does energy damage. Special weapons, 3 to Assault Rifle for the base damage to range powers, and then tag rounds, 4 there. When you hit with the range power, gain critical hit rating and also critical damage rating. Very useful. 9-Night Pistol, 1 there for the base damage increase to range powers, and then Furious Needle Gun for the attack speed increase, but also power cost reduction to range powers, because he's very power cosmic dependent, and I'll go over that in a bit, but that's very important to know. He's very power cosmic dependent. So Warpath 3 there for the fighting, and then Sunfire 1 there for the base damage to energy attacks, or energy damage, excuse me. Nanotechnology 5 there for the spin tech, obviously for the damage rating to bosses. Nothing there. Psionics 6 to melt phase for the Budo damage rating. Molecular adjustment 3 to anti-genesis for the +2 energy deflect rating and mental defense rating, and exogenesis 3 there for the base energy damage increase, energy defense rating, and it also regenerates 6 health when you hit with an energy power. And that should be all. Yeah. Alright, so here are synergies. Cable for the critical hit rating, Captain Marvel for the energy damage increase, Juggernaut for the move speed or movement damage, Rogue for the or health on any hit and +1 spirit or Pirate Cosmic on any hit, Silver Surfer for the move speed and energy damage, Scroll Girl for the damage rating to bosses, Star Lord for the critical rating to energy powers, Vision for the range and range increase in damage to machines, War Machine for the +10 Pirate Cosmic, +1 fighting, and then Wolverine for the brutal strike and brutal damage. So let's get right into his rotation. He's fairly simple to play. He's very simple to play with, but legendary. I am using Iron Man. I'm using all energy-based attacks, so keep that in mind. Now, as I mentioned, he is very, very Pirate Cosmic dependent. So what does that mean exactly? That means that you want to keep your Pirate Cosmic as high as possible or recharging as fast as possible. Hence why I'm using the Scroll, Energy Rifle artifact for the recover Pirate Cosmic when you hit, and also 2 with Ultron. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, so as far as my powers, how I have them set up, just to get this first power out the way, Cosmic Beam Array. That is my basic. So whenever I am low on Pirate Cosmic or Spirit, however you want to call it, I use this. That's the only time I use it. Okay. Next, I have Singularity, Subspace Rift, Deconstruct, Repulse, Death from Below, and Signature. And then I have Hyperspace Sidestep, Reconstruct, and then I have Cosmic Resonance, and then Comet's Tail. These are both toggles. I have them turned on. Okay. Now, before we get into my rotation, I'll kind of explain a little bit, not too much in detail, but explain certain powers to keep in mind. Okay. Singularity is very important because what Singularity does is not only does it do damage, but also when you activate this power, you gain 20% of your maximum Pirate Cosmic per 1.5 seconds. So basically, you gain 20% of your Pirate Cosmic. Okay, that's important because he does use up a lot of Pirate Cosmic, a lot. And I think one of his attacks, I believe, uses like almost 300 Pirate Cosmic or so. So just keep that in mind. The second part that's very important is Deconstruct. When you activate this, again, it not only does it do damage, but also you restore Pirate Cosmic, like 41 Pirate Cosmic, when you hit a deconstructed enemy. So basically, when you activate this power, any enemies that are affected by this power, and you do damage to them or you hit them, you gain Pirate Cosmic. Okay, keep that in mind. Alright, so in terms of my rotation, it's pretty simple. Usually what I like to do is I use Subspace Rift a lot because it does a lot of area damage and does damage over time damage. So this is what I mean. So I'm going to activate this right now. What it's going to do is kind of create I guess you can say like a kind of portal. Not so much of a portal, but it creates something on the bottom and it does damage over time. Check it out. Okay, so that's usually my starting of my rotation is I activate that. Once that's activated, I right away activate Deconstruct. Again, I don't want to reiterate everything, but if you remember what I mentioned, when you activate Deconstruct and enemies are affected by this power, anytime you hit them, you gain Pirate Cosmic. So what that means is when you activate Subspace Rift and you activate Deconstruct right away, any damage that Subspace Rift does, you're gaining Pirate Cosmic. So this is how it looks. Now I'm getting Pirate Cosmic. Obviously it's full right now, but see what I mean? So I'm gaining power cosmic without me doing anything. So that's like usually how I start my rotation. Is subspace rift, activate it wherever I want to, and then deconstruct. Okay, I'm gonna activate deconstruct. So that way you can see how it's gonna look like when enemies are affected by that power. See that? That's how you know that they're affected by deconstruct. So any damage that I do, I'm gonna gain power cosmic. Alrighty. Okay, so continuing on my rotation, subspace rift, deconstruct, and right after that, activate the other two powers, which is repulse and death from below. The reason why you want to activate subspace rift and deconstruct first is because, again, the damage over time, damage that's done by subspace rift, and you activate deconstruct, you gain power cosmic, and that's important because repulse consumes 157 power cosmic, or spirit, however you want to call it. That's a lot. And then when you do death from below, that utilizes 287 power cosmic. So those two together, you're looking at around over 400 power cosmic. Okay, keep that in mind. That's a lot. That's 400. So you're looking at 900. Now, I will say this: board dash is his movement power. It's very strong, but do keep in mind this uses up a lot of power cosmic. Okay, and I'll read it to you guys. That's why it's so important to have subspace rift first, then deconstruct. That way you can do damage over time, but also gain power cosmic. So let me read to you board dash what that does. Not only does it do damage, but also each consecutive dash increases the power cosmic cost by 25%, and the total damage by 10%. Stacks up to 10 times and unaffected by power duration. Okay. And how does that look into this, and what does that mean? It means this is that every time you use board dash and you hit an enemy, you gain a stack. And what that stack does, it does extra damage, but more importantly, keep this in mind, is that the cost of this power from 32, it increases up to 10 stacks. Okay, hence why you want to activate subspace and deconstruct, and activate as well singularity, because you want to either regenerate as much power cosmic as fast as possible, or have it set at full of the time. And I'll show you how it looks like. But I want you to do this. I'm going to use board dash right now, but I want you to see here in the buffs, I want you to see the stacks. That way you know how it's, it does stack. See that? It's stacking right now. 6, 8. Look how much power it's consuming right now. This is board dash. If I had and I'm gaining power cosmic. Okay, that's why you want to activate these two, subspace rift and deconstruct, because you want to gain as much power cosmic as possible and recover as fast and as much as you can. And also two, remember these artifact and then this medallion, they gain you power cosmic when you hit and use energy powers. That's why these two come into play, because I want to get as much power cosmic as possible. Okay, so going back into my rotation, simple. Subspace rift, activate that first. After that, deconstruct, and then after that, repulse, death from below, and then right away do singularity, because singularity gains you 20% of your maximum power cosmic. It's that simple. Subspace rift, deconstruct, repulse, death from below, singularity. Right, so I'll show you. I'll use all the powers right now. Just like that. And that's my, I guess you can see my first rotation. Okay. Now, the second rotation, including signature, is this. What signature does is, when all the powers are in cooldown, when you activate signature, it refreshes all powers that are currently in cooldown. So if I activate all my powers and all of them are cooldown, as soon as I hit signature, it resets them all. Okay, that's one thing to know. Okay, the second thing this thing does is you restore 13% of your maximum power cosmic per second while hovering above event horizon. Okay. What that does is it's very similar to Subspace Rift, that it creates something on, like, I guess you would say a portal or something below the enemy, and so when you activate Hit Horizons, it'll create like another sphere as well too on the bottom. So anytime you're around that particular area or event horizon, you gain power cosmic. And only that, enemies do, you also do damage. Now, well, I'll just show you right now. So the second rotation is doing the same thing I did, but I'm going to incorporate signature. But when I incorporate signature, I want you to see, actually, I'll activate it right now so you can see what I mean. So I'm going to activate signature, which is the event horizon, and I want you to see that thing on the bottom. So here you go. See you need this area. So if you stay within this area, you gain that spirit or power cosmic, excuse me. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is do the same rotation, the first rotation, but this time I'm gonna activate signature. But when I activate signature, I want you to see that it's gonna reset all my powers all again. And that's important because then as soon as you hit signature, you can reactivate. You can do the first rotation, which is subspace rift, deconstruct, repulse, death from below, and then singularity. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna use them again. First rotation, and then once these are on cooldown, activate signature. It's gonna reset them all and do it all over again. Now they're all bouncing, just like that. And so now, my advice, and this is how I play with them, is like this. I use subspace rift a lot, but I try to stay within that particular area of subspace rift. What does that mean exactly? What I mean is this: is wherever I activate subspace rift, you can activate it whenever. Wherever I activate subspace rift, I try to stay within that particular area. I move around with that area of subspace rift. Because if I stay within this area and activate all my other powers, think of it like this: it's going to be stacking one another. See what I mean? Especially if you stay within the area of subspace rift, it's going to stack one another. And then if you activate subspace rift and incorporating second rotation, which is including the signature, and you're just going to do massive damage because again you're just going to be stacking a lot of damage over time powers and so forth. Hopefully it makes sense, but again, what I usually do is wherever I activate subspace rift, I stay within that particular area, within the area of subspace rift, and then I just do all my powers right then within the area. And let's just say the enemies are there, and let's just say there's a bunch of Hulk busters, and I defeat them all, then I move to another place, to another area. This is what I mean. So right now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to activate subspace rift, but I'm going to do a dead center. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate just the first rotation. But I want you to guys see like how I play in terms of me hovering around, me using and me moving around. But more importantly, notice how I usually stay within subspace rift area. Let's check it out. I try to stay within an area. Okay, now again, let's just say, for instance, let's say you use my first rotation and you use also the signature, and then you redo rotation again, but all the powers are on cooldown, including your signature. So what do you do after that? Simple. Activate your powers again, and then any power that can be utilized, activate them right away. So if let's just say you use my first rotation and all the powers are in cooldown, and then you can use death from below, perfect. Activate death from below. If you can use death from below, then and then singularity is available to use it right away. The key thing is you want to use these powers as you want to activate them as soon as possible, because you want to do massive, like a lot of damage. You want to keep stacking, you want to stack your damage. You want to just keep activating as soon as possible. And with these two alone, again, any damage you do, with deconstruct, any damage you do, you're going to gain power cosmic to those affected by deconstructed. And when you activate Singularity, you restore 200 power cosmic. You see what I mean? Hopefully you kind of get what I'm trying to say, is that you're just gaining by utilizing these two whenever they're available in any other powers. You're just either regenerating power cosmic, or you have full, you have like almost full power cosmic consistently. And then if you incorporate what this artifact gives you and this medallion, again, you're just gonna keep increasing your power cosmic regeneration, or just have it maxed out all the time. Now, for these two powers, hyperspace, sidestep, and reconstruct, activate them whenever you can. Hyperspace, sidestep, it's a crowd control immunity. Whenever you can, activate it. Reconstruct, what this does is it regenerates 315 health per second, but also recover 32 power cosmic when you get hit. So it's very useful. So again, going back to my rotation, same thing. Subspace Rift, Deconstruct, Repulse, Death from Below, and then Singularity. And move around as much as you can, but activate any of these powers whenever they're ready to be activated. Activate them as much as you can. Whenever you're low on spirit, utilize Cosmic Beam. And then once you're pretty good in power of Cosmic and you can activate another power, boom, keep at it again. But try to keep Subspace Rift as long as possible, because it does a lot of area damage and does a lot of damage over time. And you want that damage over time, because you want to do as much damage without you doing anything. See right here, it's doing damage. That's why in Cosmic Trial, you see me activate Subspace Rift a lot, and I'm always doing damage around Subspace Rift area, because I want to stack my damage. Hopefully it makes sense, but and yeah, that's it. So I'll try it one more time. So I'm going to do my rotation. This time I'm not going to do signature, but I want you guys to see how I incorporate my first rotation, and then after that, when everything else is cooldown, I just keep moving around, activate Subspace Rift, try to keep it as active as possible, and then utilize Cosmic Beam whenever I can, move around, and just activate any power when it's available. So. Activate it whenever I can. Move. Get this going. Just like that. See that? Just like that. And obviously, if I had activated my signature, I would do my cooldowns and then do my first rotation, and then after that, just keep using Subspace Rift, move around, activate any power that you can that's available, and just keep going like that. And eventually you just keep stacking up not only your damage, but also you'll keep increasing your power cosmic. And that's really it. So that's how I play with Silver Surfer, and that's usually how I pass Cosmic Trial with Silver Surfer, using this same exact build. And that's it, you guys. That is my build guide for Silver Surfer. Hopefully it's helpful for you guys. Any questions regarding this build or anything else, please leave it in the comment section below. If you have a certain request for certain characters, I know someone recently asked me for Magneto. I'll try to do Magneto. He might be a little tough. I might have to use over 3,000 because he is a bit weak. But I'll try it. But first thing is I gotta work with Psylocke and Vision, and then after that I'll try Magneto. But again, any requests for certain characters, please leave it in the comment section below. If you want to keep up to date with as far as any new videos from me, please do subscribe to my channel. It really means lots to me, and not only that, it does help out the channel a lot. And that's it, you guys. This is my build guide for Silver Surfer. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Alrighty, thanks.